Hello everyone, today we have new video review, and as you can see this time we are going to talk about fresh release from ICM, and it comes in 1/72 scale. This is quite interesting combo because here we have a Soviet military airfield from 1980s, and what you can see on the box art, you actually get it in the package, so it means 2 tracks and also the MiG-29. All of them are in 1/72 scale, so it shouldn't be a huge diorama project, but it might be attractive for some modelers. That's why I decided to take a closer look, and of course we have a commercial sample here, so it means you'll get exactly the same stuff as what you'll see in this video review, and of course we are going to open it right now. So first of all, I have to note that this box is typical size for ICM. Here you can see comparison with my hand. We also have really nice box art here, and on the side you will find also some history note and also information about the kit, so I will check what is written there. So we have 106 parts for ZIL-131, we have 82 parts for assembly of MiG-29, and we have also 100 parts for assembly of this APA truck, which you can see there in front of aircraft, and we even have 32 parts for assembly of PAG-14 airfield plates, which is quite interesting, so it means we will have the airfield covered as well. And here you can see some profiles. Of course there should be more markings because this kit, this type of kits from ICM usually features more markings out of the box, but we will see it once we will be checking the assembly manual. What I'm doing now is trying to cut all the stickers so that we can see what is actually supplied under this box. And of course if these seals are broken, it means somebody was opening the box before you, and it's a good opportunity to ask seller why it was actually opened and check all the parts. So this color printed section is actually just a color printed part of the packaging which does not provide any protection, but white cardboard box actually stores everything inside. So just give me a second and let's open it. Here is what we have inside. All of these kits are separated into several plastic bags, so we will be checking them one by one, and then gradually we will move on to other components which are lying on the bottom. First of all, we are going to start with the MiG-29, and this is not exactly a new kit, so it might be familiar to some of you, and I would say it is okay model for those who would like to have a decent copy of MiG-29 in a small scale. So if you're ready to work a bit on the plastic, then why not? And of course this is not a kit for beginners in my opinion, because there are plenty of things which require decent attention. But here we start with a clear frame, so as you can see molding quality looks good. We have separate canopy parts, and it means you will be able to open this canopy. And of course masks are not included, but I hope that ICM actually included the masking templates because they started doing it recently with their new kits, so who knows, maybe this one is not an exclusion from this rule. Next we continue with the fuselage panels. So here we have top and bottom panels. Note that the nose cone is pre-molded, so you will have to be careful in this area because otherwise you might end up with an ugly seams and gaps in such visible spot. We have also recessed panel lines, but they're not that deep. That's why pay attention with the paint and primer application, because you might end up with a completely covered details. And here, by the way, you can see the guiding pins on the edges of these parts, which should help you with alignment of these parts between each other. Next we continue with armament and also landing gear parts. So here the edge of the kit is the most visible because as you can see some parts are covered with a bit of flesh. I wouldn't say this is a really huge issue, but still pay attention to what should be actually, let's say, cleaned up, because otherwise you might end up with the let's say extra plastic. But from what I can see, actually this flesh is not on the parts but on the sprue itself, so it's even better. Next we continue with another plastic sprue. So this one is the last one for the MiG-29, and we have here the tail surfaces, wing parts, also air intakes, and everything looks nice. There are also some cockpit parts, but in case you would like to have more features on your model, then definitely go for some aftermarket, because some PE will definitely add more stuff into your small aircraft. Next, I'm opening another plastic bag. You might have heard it. So here we have the ZIL truck parts. And I think it will be enough to show only one, because the second one is just differs with the rear section. It's same set of parts, so that's why I'll just put it aside. And we are going to start with the road wheels. So those are supplied on 2 frames. Here they are. Maybe we'll zoom in a bit. And here you can see that we have actually the plastic wheels, which is really good because such parts will be easier to paint and weather. And if I flip them over, here inside we have also some guiding elements which will help you with alignment. Obviously, if you would like to have even more convincing appearance, it's worth searching for some resin replacement, which will give you more features which cannot be copied in plastic. Next, we continue with some other minor parts. So here I can zoom even more. You can see that here we have few tanks and also some minor things which will be installed on the front cap. We also have some interior parts, for example, steering wheel is here. And some parts are really thin, here you can see, so you have to be careful while cutting them off. Maybe it would be a wise idea to use the plastic saw, because otherwise you might just break them off. Next, we have the main chassis. It is molded here as a single piece part, as you can see, and that's actually a good design, because such design or parts division will actually help you to get the proper fitment straight out of the box. You don't have to work with the separate bars. Note that the engine is not included here. We have only the lower section gearbox and oil sump imitation. Also, we have the stowage box here. We have some suspension parts. And again, molding quality looks fine. It's just, you have to keep in mind that this is a 1/72 scale kit, so some parts are really tiny. And here we have another good example. So these are quite thin parts, which might be a challenge for some modelers. So definitely check this before you start the project, because for some modelers it might be an actual problem. And it's not because the kit is bad, but because of the eyesight or maybe the coordination issues. Next, we continue with another plastic sprue. So here we have parts for the rear section. As you can see, these are stowage boxes and the floor panel. Again, everything looks fine, so it's just a matter of careful separation and assembly together. What is quite interesting here is that we have the rear section and the front cap molded as a single piece parts. So here is the rear. And of course all doors and hatches are pre-molded, so I will place it here. And next we continue with the front cap. So it is also, as you can see, as a single piece part. And the floor is separate, of course, because you will be able to insert some interior elements. But again, everything looks fine, so it's just a matter of combining them on the same chassis and you'll be good to go. Next, I'm opening another small plastic bag, so just give me a second, because here we have the clear parts for this truck and also some clear parts for the rear section. They're actually coming in the separate plastic bags, what hints on this modular approach to the kits by ICM, because usually they include the universal parts and then the separate specific parts in let's say separate plastic bags. Now I'm opening one more plastic bag with the clear parts. So in the meantime, you can see this small sprue with the parts for the front cap. And as I said, I'm not sure if the mask templates are included here. Of course, it would be good to have them, because otherwise it might be a bit tricky to cut out the small stickers. And here, by the way, you can see the clear parts for this section of the truck. And still, it's cool to have them, because some model companies just do not provide anything, and then you have to do some scratch building in order to copy the actual windows on the truck. Next, I'll just remove this too. Okay, so next we have also the Airfield plates. They are coming in a separate plastic bag. Here you can see them, and I think they look fine. It's just a matter of, let's say, placing them on some surface maybe, or gluing together, so it's up to you. And it's a really good, let's say, support as a diorama base for your build. Next, we continue with the package or folder of the assembly manuals. So here we have this nice folder with the box art. I will close the lenses and zoom out in a second, so now you can see it. And inside, if I open it, we have exactly the same manuals as just on the solar kits. Decals are also there, and if I flip it over here, you can see the marking options which are suggested for it, but of course you can replicate something different if you get some aftermarket options. So whole kit should be already available, and you can get it in ModeliMax webshop. Of course, I will be happy to hear your opinion about such release. Do not forget to write it here in the comment section below. And of course, do not forget to subscribe to us so that you won't miss any new videos. And I will see you in the next video review as usual. Thank you for joining me today, and bye.